Hello, and welcome back to Socks and Sandals, and welcome to another episode of Achievement HuntWhores. So, today's episode is Forza Motorsport. So, the new Forza Motorsport came out, I think, last month, sometime. The first achievement I got was back in October, what was it? October 17th, I think, when it actually came out. But, yeah, so I've been, for the last month, getting all of the achievements for Forza Motorsport. And it was a fun completion until it wasn't. And we'll get to that towards the end. A lot of the final achievements I got were just kind of arduous. But, anyway, Forza Motorsport, I got all of the achievements for Forza Horizon 5, I don't know, last year sometime, beginning of this year. And I decided that I was going to try and get every achievement in Forza games that I could. So I went to Forza Horizon 2 and got all of the single-player achievements and then the non-DLC ones. Couldn't get on any of the online and couldn't get any of the DLC because it was delisted. I have a video of, it's kind of like a compilation music video slash thing of me doing a lot of the races in that game. And then, I didn't do a video on it, but I got every achievement I possibly could for Forza Motorsport 3. And when this game got announced, I decided, I just made the plan that I was going to get every achievement for it, just because it would be the first actual Forza Motorsport, not Forza Horizon or anything like that, that I would get every achievement for. So that was the plan. It's a pretty straightforward list. So the first achievement I got for Forza Motorsport was Welcome to Forza. I got that back on October 8th. And that is to just complete your first race. The start of the game, it introduces you to one of the cover cars, the Corvette E-Ray, and you race around Maple Valley. That one doesn't count as your first race. It's the next one. It's like an endurance race. It's the final laps of it. So that is your actual first race. It's part of the tutorial. So, unmissable there. And the next achievement I got was Express Yourself. Another unmissable, really. I guess unless you stick with the suit that you start as when you create your character. Express Yourself was unlocked by changing your driver suit. So, a real easy one there. As well as on the house, that's pretty much a give me as well, because once you actually start playing the Builders Cup stuff, you get your first car. They just give you one to use. And so a lot of these first few, the first three here were just pretty much you started the game. Here are some achievements. The next achievement I got was Technique, which is to score a 9 or better on any track segment. I got this just on, I believe it's the first race within the tutorial. If you're playing Forza, naturally you're going to get this one. If you're any good at driving games, or if you want to be any form of competitive within Forza Motorsport, you're more than likely going to get it. And then you're going to get the next one as well, the self-improvement, which is to get a 10 or better on any track segment. I believe I got it on the same track, going around the same curve. Just did it better, did it perfect. The next achievement I got is Strategist, which is to change your fuel and tire setup for the first time. And you could just do that in the menu before you start your race. You just go down to fuel and tire, and you can just change it there. So I did change my fuel, so I unlocked this achievement while trying to get the next achievement, running on fumes, which is to complete a race with less than 1 lap. To complete a race with no more than 1 fuel lap left in your car. So I got the strategist achievement while trying to get the running on fumes. I just lowered my fuel down to, so I believe the amount of laps that were in the race were 4, so I just lowered my fuel to exactly 4 laps. So by the time I got to my last lap, I had 0 fuel laps left in the car. So once I finished that one, I would pretty much be on empty. So those 2 achievements sort of came hand in hand. Next, we have Highlight Reel, which is to share a replay. I just picked some shitty, whatever race I had just finished, I just uploaded a replay of it just to get the achievement. And I think I even titled it, Did It for the Achievo, so nothing too difficult there. Next up, we got Welcome to Builders Cup, which is to complete the tutorial for career mode. I believe it's 4 races that you do. Not too difficult, but what I did, because the next achievement I got was It's Not the Car. So I started off the tutorial of the Builders Cup. You get that car they give you. And I think after you complete your second race, they introduce you to upgrades, and they want you to upgrade. You have to add one, but what I then did was just go back, remove the upgrade, return my car to stock, and then completed the tutorial. So you have to... So It's Not the Car is unlocked by finishing in the top 3 of a series with a stock car in Builders Cup. Anyway, I was going for the... I'm struggling to find it now, but it's the achievement to win, I think, 4 races with the Drivatar difficulty set to the max. So I was trying to get these 2 achievements together. So that made it a little more difficult, but even with the Drivatar set to max, I was still able... I think I finished 3rd within that series, so not too bad. Next one, we have My First Art Show, which is to share one of your designs. I just took my Mustang, colored it white, and then put a TA on the front of it. There weren't any guides up just yet, because the game, it hadn't even actually come out. I think I pre-ordered mine from Best Buy, and I downloaded the Game Pass version. I pre-downloaded it, and my pre-order for Best Buy actually came, I believe, a day early. I got it a day early, so I was able to get a lot of the achievements before the game officially was released. But if you did some sort of you pre-ordered the fucking deluxe edition of it, you got it a week early, so there were already people well into getting the achievements for it. Maca91 is actually the first person to get all of the achievements, and he had it a week. I think he got all of them within that week before the game even released. So, but there were a few guides, and the guide for this achievement was just make whatever, title it True Achievements, and then put your fucking shit in the comments of that guide on trueachievements.com. I didn't do all that. I just put a T on there, TA on the hood, titled it True Achievements, and then just the description was hey, whatever bit helps, because there's also 2 other achievements. Okay, so I lied. The Tinkerer isn't the one to upload your tune. Tinkerer is to make an upgrade to your car. So another pretty much gimme. I obviously got that while upgrading my car to upload a tune. Upgrading my car to upload a tune for the Race Engineer. Race Engineer is to share one of your tunes. then we got in the big leagues, which is to finish your first featured multiplayer event. What I wanted to do when I started this achievement hunt tours is get all of the multiplayer achievements done first. All of these are pretty much forced on you at the start. You know, you start the game up, it immediately throws you into the tutorial for single player. So pretty much all of that was just, I started the game, but my main focus was getting all of the multiplayer done. Because my thought process was, I got the game a day early. I wanted to get all of the difficult multiplayer achievements done before everybody started playing the game. So once I got all of the tutorial done, I immediately moved on to multiplayer. And so in the big leagues is the first multiplayer. You just get that while you know, completing your first race. Next up is well-rounded, which is to change your tires during a race to use a different tire compound. While in one of the multiplayer races, my tire tread got so bad I had to pit, and I believe I just put, maybe I changed the tire compound. I think I just put the same tires back on it, but. And then after well-rounded, I got excellence, which is finished with no penalty with full Forza race regulations enabled. You play multiplayer, full Forza race regulations is enabled by default. You know, you get penalties for going off track. You get penalties for unavoidable contact or avoidable contact, which is a broken system. And I'll talk more on it later with a specific instance. I think they really need to fix the penalty system in this game, and I'm not the sole believer of that. It's very finicky. Like, you can lightly tap someone, or fuck, even someone tap you, and you get a penalty for it. Sometimes it'll pop up a warning where someone, and it may be completely on accident, but they may sideswipe you, and you'll get a fucking penalty warning. Like, they hit me. Why am I getting a warning for that? It's some sort of AI thing. It's trying to predict people being assholes and purposefully running into people to ruin the race. And I guess that's a hard thing to do, but say I'm racing and I hit the brake to try and avoid somebody. I think, you know, all of these learning systems within the game should be able to detect that I'm currently holding the brake, so I'm not trying to hit someone. So if I bump into somebody, I shouldn't then be penalized for that. But I don't know. I don't know actual racing regulations. I don't know how that works. But there is the saying that rubbing is racing, so I don't think the penalty system is very good. But I digress. Next up, we have Make It Yours, which is to just buy your first car. So I believe I bought the Dodge Viper. One of the showcase events early on was the Dodge Viper, so I bought that to participate in that, and that was the first car I purchased. Next up is Clean Driving, which is to complete a clean qualifying lap in featured multiplayer. I feel like I did this before I actually unlocked it, but I didn't really know how the qualifying worked. I think the first few multiplayer matches I participated in, I sort of just drove, I just kept in the practice thing without actually going to qualify. So that may have been the issue. I can't quite remember. But, yeah, it's just, you know, you don't even really have to drive that fast. You don't have to actually try and post a decent qualifying lap time. Just don't hit anybody. Don't go off the track. Keep it clean. Next up, we have Paparazzi, which is to share a photo. I think just in the start menu, I just went to the camera mode, took a picture of my Mustang, and uploaded it just for the Chivo. So nothing too difficult there. Next up is Podium Prodigy, which earn a spot on the podium in featured multiplayer. So this one was like the perfect storm, literally. So I got on. So I'd been playing the multiplayer for a few hours now. I've done a few races. And I got on one morning before work. It was probably about maybe 4 in the morning. And this was my, again, thought process for this. I'll get on, hopefully get a lobby where there's not enough people. I got that. There was only 7 people in the lobby. And I wasn't really setting out to get on the podium. But when the race started, it started raining. So a lot of the cars up front, I guess, I don't know, they don't know how rain physics work, so they just went full bore into the wall, and I ended up in first. So a good portion of this race that I ended up getting third in, I was in first a vast majority of it. So I really lucked out on that early on, being able to get that, the Podium Prodigy achievement, because it really was the perfect storm. It just started raining. There wasn't a lot of people in the lobby. I mean, it was just perfect. And after that, I got rain or shine. I decided to take a break from multiplayer. I'd been playing the game for a few days now, going for one achievement in particular. But I decided to take a break and go into the free play, and I got a lot of the free play achievements. So rain or shine is to create and complete a race in the rain, and I believe I unlocked Rain or Shine, Leisure Cruise, and Freedom all in the same sort of created thing. I'm going to call them dream races. So Rain or Shine is to complete a race in the rain. So I loaded up Spa-Francorchamps in the rain at sunset and unlocked Rain or Shine, Leisure Cruise, and Freedom. The Leisure Cruise is to complete a race at sunset on Spa-Francorchamps, and the Rain or Shine Freedom is to complete a quick race in free play. So I got all 3 of those within the first dream race. Next up, I got Free as a Bird and Time Traveler. Free as a Bird was unlocked for completing a race in the 1973 Pontiac Trans Am on the Eagle Rock Club Circuit. I did that while doing it in a time raced event to unlock Time Traveler. And then after that, I got Win in Rome, which is to complete a race in the 2020 Ferrari Roma on the Mugello Full Circuit. And then I got Sightseeing, which is to complete on Hakone Club with the 2020 Toyota GTR Supra, or GR Supra, sorry, not GTR, that's Nissan. And then after that, I got Endurance Legacy, which is to complete a race in the 2021 Porsche 911 GT3 on Kailami Grand Prix. And then I got Flying by accident. I wasn't really planning on getting it, which is to maintain a speed of 180 miles per hour or higher for 3 seconds. I got that while going for the American Challenger achievement, which is to complete a race in the 2023 Cadillac Racing V Series .R on the Le Mans full circuit. The Le Mans is probably the easiest place to get your car up to 180 and keep it there for a while, because there's a huge ass fucking straight on it. And then after that, I decided to go for one more quick one, which is New Rival, and I got that by posting a lap time on any track in Rival's Time Attack. So, Built Not Bought is our next achievement, which is to complete one series in career mode.
Great race. P1.
And then Stiff Competition is to complete 10 races with AI set to the fastest difficulty. So this is the one that I started up while going for the... This is the one I started up going for the It's Not the Car. I was trying to get both of those hand in hand. I didn't realize there was such a big gap. But again, this is single player stuff here, so I guess so. Yeah, not really too difficult. You don't have to win the race, you just have to complete the race. And right after, I believe I completed that first actual series, because the tutorial doesn't count as a series, although you do get the achievement for completing a series in a unmodified car. But whatever. So I completed the first actual series, and then I believe one more race in the next series to get that.
Well done. P4.
Next up, we have Getting Familiar, which is to get any car level 25. I believe my Honda Civic is the first car I actually got up to 25. I was going for the pole position achievement in multiplayer, and while going for that, I ended up leveling my Honda Civic up to 25. Next up, we have Contender, which is to complete 100 laps in multiplayer. Again, I was going for the pole position. The pole position, at least at the time I first started playing, it's the hardest achievement. It is probably the most skill-intensive achievement I've ever gotten, because you have to basically be perfect at the game. So a lot of my multiplayer leveling up, I believe I only had 2 more multiplayer achievements. Well, I take that back. So I was desperately trying to get the pole position achievement, and I unlocked a lot of the other multiplayer achievements on the way. So next up, we have Safety Star, which is to hold an S safety rating across 5 consecutive feature multiplayer events. They say on True Achievements that you can just, you don't post a qualifying lap, so you start at the back and then just stay at the back. And, avoid any contact with cars, try and keep it on the track. That just didn't seem fun to me. So I legitimately played the game and, to my best ability, avoided any contact with other racers, tried to keep the car on track as best as I could. I believe you can get, as long as it's less than a second of a penalty, total, like the entire race, you have less than a second penalty, you'll stay within the S safety rating. But once it gets up above a second is when your safety rating will start dropping. And I'll get to that later too. Well, actually, I'll get to it right now. So, during one of the races, I'm still trying to go for pole position, but I'm also going for the safety superstar. So after I got safety star, I was, trying to keep that wagon train moving and get up to safety superstar, which is to do 10 consecutive races in featured multiplayer with an S safety rating. And while in one of the races, some fucktard named Eugene, this was what was worrying me about doing multiplayer, are the people that, they don't care about their safety rating, they don't care about ruining the race for others, they're just trying to win. So they'll bump people off the track, they'll purposefully run into them, and this Ryujin character, like, I'm just driving along, I'm not even anywhere near first, and he comes up and fucking pulls a pit maneuver on me, and, I lose like 5 positions in the race. So that sucked, but with the safety rating at the start of the race, pretty much the first corner is death on any track. Like, people are just hauling ass at the first corner, so you've got to be prepared to stop. And I wasn't. So, I run right into the pack, and I'm desperately trying to regain control of my vehicle. I hit somebody to the left, tap somebody to the right. Again, I'm not doing any of this on purpose, but that fucking penalty system does not view it as so, because I accrue a 2.25 second, so a 2.25 second fucking penalty, and drops my fucking safety rating down to A. So there went that. I have to fucking start all over again on the damn safety superstar. Fuck the penalty system in this game. It's some fucking bullshit. But after unlocking safety star, we get Night Owl, which is to complete 50 laps at night.
3 laps.
While doing pole position, a lot of the races in multiplayer were at night. So that one came without pretty much any trouble. Wasn't too difficult that one. Pride and joy is to reach car level 50 in any car. I actually, so at the start, my Honda Civic, I believe it's an R, Honda Civic R, was the car I was leveling up the fastest. But the newest Spotlight event was the KTM, I believe it's an Expo 2, was the newest Spotlight event. And I decided to jump on that while not everybody was doing it, to, again, go for pole position. And that was actually the car that I got up to 50. And still going for pole position, used it, well after 50. Which is probably why it took me so long to get the Garage Royalty achievement, is because I spent so much time still in the fucking KTM Expo that I probably could have gotten at least another 20 levels in a different car. And then finally, the impossible happened. And it, it's a fucking movie bit. I finally got the pole position achievement. And I looked up on True Achievements. At this point, a lot more guides had started coming out for the game, and they recommended turning off crossplay within the Xbox settings and trying to get a lobby that's starting soon but has like no people in it. I didn't realize until I started trying these strategies. I thought that like when you loaded into a multiplayer race, that was the race for your area. Of course it wouldn't be. Fucking thousands of people are playing the game and there can only be 24 in a lobby. So obviously there's going to be several different lobbies for that race. So what I would do, I turned crossplay off, would get into a match that's... You don't want it to be too close to being done because you still have to do your qualifying. I would probably do it about 10 minutes left before the race actually starts. And if there's more than, say, 7 people in it, I would back out and try again. So I went to trying for the qualifying. And I believe at this time, they had people that were cheating the system and they were posting impossible. It was within the first update of the game that they mentioned that people were posting impossible lap times. I don't know if that's true, but I know that, say, Watkins Glen, I would do a 110, and that would be like, everyone's driving the same car, mind you, within this showcase event. They're all driving the KTM Expo, and even if you get the car up to PI 900, there's very minute alterations you can do to get a different lap time. Like you can put less fuel in the car, you can do better tires, softer tires, so you don't so you stick to the ground better, you can go around corners faster, and those will gain you additional seconds. But people were doing like whole 10 seconds less than that, and that 110 was my best lap. It was just baffling. At the time, I was like, man, these people are fucking... This is all they do is play this game. But I think some of it could have been that they were cheating somehow. I don't know. I don't want to say that for certain and make it sound like I'm just, making excuses for... I don't think I've explained what the fucking pole position achievement is. I'm sorry. I'm getting flustered here. So pole position is to post a best qualifying lap time in a featured multiplayer event. So you literally have to post the fastest lap time within that game lobby. Getting around the track, that's a minute at least. Top time is 1:15. As previously mentioned, I got a 1:14 on a lap. So I'm like, this is doable. I got this. So I immediately go into qualify. Don't even do any practice laps. And the first 2 laps I pulled down. You only get 3 qualifying laps to post your best time. So the first 2 laps I put down, my best one was a 1:15.647. I'm only in 3rd. The top lap is 1:14.87. I'm like, man, this isn't going to happen. I'm not going to be able to do it. But I keep going. Got 2 minutes and 23 seconds left on the clock. Last qualifying lap. fucking pull around the final curve, heading straight for the finish line. Got a split of 9.75, and I fucking do it with 27 seconds left on the clock. Snap 5.26. I literally jumped out of my fucking seat. I couldn't believe it. It was a movie. Astounding. Absolutely, probably one of my most favorite achievements thinking about it. But I was also worried because after getting the lap achievement hadn't popped. I'm like, what the fuck? I posted the best lap time. Where is it? So I'm just sitting there hoping. Please, is good and holy, let it pop. And finally, when the intermission countdown gets to 0 in first, and I am granted my pole position achievement. At the time of first getting this, 22% of players got this achievement. It's now up to 3.12%. So it's a little more doable now that people aren't posting impossible lap times. Next up, I got heart transplant. So heart transplant is to swap an engine on any car. And I swapped the engine in my 2024 Nissan 370Z Nismo. I put a V10 in it, I believe, and unlocked the heart transplant achievement. So the next achievement, Arrival, which unfortunately I didn't get any footage of me actually popping the achievement. Apologies. I miscounted how many rivals I had beaten, but the amateur rival is to beat 5 rivals. And you know, it's a lot of the... So you go to rivals, and generally the worst one is the one you'll get matched against. And I don't know if people are doing it on purpose, but they'll get, like, say Hakone. The average lap time is 1 minute and 15 seconds. They'll end up with like 10 minutes for their lap. So I don't know if they just forget and leave their controller on idle, but that's a lot of what the first rivals are. So that one's not too difficult. And I believe you can just beat the same rival over and over again. You don't have to actually change it. Don't quote me on that. That's not what I did. I would just go, I would beat a rival on a track, go to a new track, and rinse and repeat. So next up we have Competitor, which is to complete 300 laps in multiplayer. A lot of my laps were while trying to get the pole position achievement. So shortly after that, I got Competitor. I was then going on for another multiplayer achievement, which is Racecraft, which is actually the next achievement I got. Racecraft is to gain 12 positions in any multiplayer race. What I would start doing at this point is not post any qualifying lap, so I start near the back. And generally what I wanted is a fuller lobby. So say there's 24 racers, you got a full lobby, you need to at least get 12 to unlock the achievement. So I would prefer to have it be a stacked lobby so I didn't have to gain all the way up to say 3rd or something. But I got this achievement starting in 23rd, so I got all the way up to 11 to unlock it. I actually got up to 10th because the racer ahead of me, I think he had like a fucking 2-second penalty, so with his 2-second penalty to 10th after that. So I actually advanced 13 positions. But it's so safety star is to get 5 consecutive races with an S safety rating, 2.25 second time penalty. Again, I wasn't gonna try and cheese it to prevent that person. I'm gonna get out of their way. I wasn't racing defensively, but I play the game. But I'm not gonna fucking risk that achievement. And there's a track it's on exactly, but it's a like it tells you off track, but I never got a penalty for it. This one time I cut the corner, but the racer in front of me, for whatever reason, just drives straight into the wall. And then I passed them, and I believe I accrued a 1 second penalty because the game thinks I cut that corner to pass someone. But what happened is they crashed into a wall, I cut a corner, and just happened to pass them. And I believe that was on my 9th race. So I immediately dashboarded and said, nope, fuck that, not doing that. And went on to another race to actually get the safety superstar. Next up, we have a Rain Master, which is another achievement that I didn't get the achievement pop on it because the race I was doing wasn't even in the rain when it popped. So I don't know what the fuck happened there. I finished the race, and you can see in the video, I was not expecting it. It pops Rain Master, and I'm like, what in the fuck? I actually tried to run into the next room, but I wasn't doing a race in the rain, so I didn't even have my capture card hooked up. So running into the office to hit record wasn't really going to do me any good when I didn't have it hooked up. So I don't know what happened there, but I unlocked Rain Master, which is to complete 50 laps in the rain. And my 50th lap wasn't even in the rain. It wasn't raining. So I don't know what happened. Next up, we have Just Getting Started, which is to complete one tour in career mode. Each tour, I believe, has 4 series within it. So a hefty amount of racing to do a tour. But I finally got the first one done, and
Well done. P1.
next up I have Bodybuilder, which is to put a wide body conversion kit on any car. I put a wide body conversion on my Nissan Club K. Yeah. So I put a wide body kit on my Nissan Club K and unlocked that achievement. A lot of the, so like doing the engine swap and the wide body kit, those are a little more difficult than they seem because you have to get your car up to a certain level. I believe you have to get it up to level 40 to do a engine swap on it, and the wide body kit I think is like 40 something as well. So you have to get it damn near maxed out before you can actually do an engine swap or put a wide body kit on it. So that's a good deal of time put into the car. Next up I have a Journeyman Builder, which is to complete 2 tours in career mode.
Good work today. We finished P1.
And Pro Builder, which is to do 3 tours in career mode. And again, this is another achievement pop that wasn't recorded. I think what happened here is I unplugged my capture card before actually hitting stop record. So that's my bad. I fucking corrupted the file and didn't get that. And next up, so 2 more achievements that weren't recorded, which are Influencer and Setting the Standard. So as I mentioned earlier, these 2 are for earning 10,000 credits for your downloaded or for your shared design and 10,000 credits for your shared tune. So you get credits for people downloading your tune and design, you get credits for people using it, and then you get credits for people liking it. And the way I did this is, this several days of me putting into this game now, like literally, like time played is into the days now. Not one single person downloaded my design, which, I'm not really chuffed about because it wasn't really anything, so I didn't expect anyone to actually download it. So what I had to do was I got onto Nathan's account, got the same car I started out with, the Mustang, downloaded the design and the tune, and just let the AI race around the track doing laps. It had, you get the credits per race. So I set the free play to 1 lap. I believe I put it on the Indianapolis Motor Speedway, and it would just race around the track on its own. And I did that until I unlocked the achievement. But what I failed to realize is, so on True Achievements, these 2 achievements are bugged. They won't unlock when you go back to your account. What you have to do is what True Achievement says, unlock an achievement, and those 2 will also pop. So at this point, I've only got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 achievements left, and they're for completing 4 tours, for doing all of the rival stuff, and then for leveling my cars up. So it's actually 6 achievements. Sorry, not 7. For leveling a certain amount of cars up all the way to level 50. So really the next achievement that was doable for this was the Legendary Builder, which is to complete 4 tours. So I thought, okay, I'll do that and then pop these other 2 achievements. Well, it will also pop achievements for just completing a race, which I wasn't prepared for. So I completed a race within my final tour and popped both the Influencer and Setting the Standard achievement without capturing. Again, my apologies. That freaking sucks. But the next achievement I got after those 2 was Legendary Builder, which is to complete 4 tours in career mode. The tours aren't too bad. You technically could just set the AI and just let it race itself, though you previously could. You can't do that so much now after the update 2, which I'll talk about here in a minute. But, I legitimately raced within the 4 tours. Completed, what is that? 24 series, which in each of those races, it's 4 races per series. So that's a lot of racing. But got that, and then so by this point, after getting Legendary Builder, I only had 2 cars to level 50. So I thought, okay, well, for the rival stuff, I'll just use my cars that are close to 50 and try and level them up. So for Enthusiastic Rival and Experienced Rival, which is to beat 10 rivals and 20 rivals, I just used cars that were close to level 50. And even after doing that, so completing 4 tours in single player with a few other races as well, because each tour you do, or each series you do, will pretty much guarantee you get that car up to level 20. So I did a few more tours, but I didn't feel like buying other cars, so I was just trying to do the series within cars I already owned in my garage and were acceptable within those series. Even after doing that, I only had one car that was max level, or 2 cars, sorry. So I did all of the rival stuff, 20 total rival things, and still only got one other car to max level. So by this point, I've only got 3 max level cars, and the next 3 achievements are Aficionado, Brand Ambassador, and Garage Royalty. Aficionado is unlocked for getting 10 cars to max level, and Brand Ambassador is to get 5 cars within the same manufacturer max level to get the maximum brand discount. I unlocked Aficionado and Brand Ambassador at the same time. I did 4 cars within the Ford up to level 50, and then 9 total cars to level 50. So the last car I did was my 1982 Ford Fiesta. Got that up to level 50 and unlocked both Aficionado and Brand Ambassador. So at this point, I've gotten several cars up to level 20 at least by me legitimately playing. And I couldn't just drive around the track for hours. And I didn't feel like, because I don't know if you get more experience within multiplayer, but at this point I was just burned out. Like, I'd already played this game probably up to this point for 5 days. Total recorded playtime is at 5 days. So I cheesed it a little bit and loaded into any of the circuit tracks, put the AI on full assist, and just let it rip. The game will give you a notification, kind of like Netflix does, asking if you're still playing every 10 minutes. But used to, there was a workaround where if you hit down to bring up the telemetry menu, it wouldn't ask you, and you can just let the fucking thing idle for days on end if you wanted to. Unfortunately, you can't do that anymore with this update 2. They patched that out, and now it will ask you every 10 minutes regardless. So that's what I did. I know it's kind of shitty that I didn't actually play the game, but I had already played the game for 5 days up to this point, legitimately putting in time for it. So to get the garage royalty, which is to get 30 cars to max level, I just let the game play itself. The way I think instead of updating the game to where you make it more difficult for people to get their fucking cars up to level 50 with a cheat, maybe you should have updated it to where you actually got decent XP and expected people to play the game naturally to get it up to max level. You just do not get XP. You do not get enough car XP in this game for playing the game naturally. Like, I don't know why this achievement exists. 30 cars? Like, something needs to give there. Like, obviously they're not going to change the achievement. That's just too much work. But they can update it to where you get better XP bonuses. But I don't know. I don't work at fucking Turn 10, so what do I know? But after fucking just letting my Xbox idle overnight, which my in-play time is kind of bloated because I would do that when I got home from work. I would just load it up and let it run itself. I finally got my 30th car, which the last one I did was the Audi i8. I believe it's the i8. Don't quote me on that. I don't know. It's an Audi. It's the final car I did. And unlocked my garage royalty, and with that, this achievement HuntWhores is done. And like I said, I enjoyed Forza Motorsport until I didn't. This last bit of garage royalty was just not fun. I wasn't playing the game, and I guess you could say, well, why weren't you? You could have played it. I had done a lot of the tours. I didn't do any of the featured Builders Cup, but I did a lot of them. And still, doing all of that, I only got like 3 cars up to max level. And one of those cars was just fucking playing multiplayer. So I think they need to rework the car XP system. Something there needs to be better, but the penalty, the car XP, something needs to give. But I am glad that I got this full completion. I'm definitely glad I got it before the update, because that would have fucking sucked, having to actually monitor the fucking game while it played itself, or legitimately play mind-numbing hours of the same fucking track to level up. It's just, I'm just glad that I got it done. But if you liked this achievement, HuntWhores, leave a like. If there are any other achievement HuntWhores you would recommend, I am looking for other racing games to get all of the achievements for. There's not many. A lot of the Need for Speeds have a lot of online shit, and those are dead. So preferably like single player ones. Leave those in the comments down below if you got any of those. If you like this video, leave that in the comments down below. I have a few other racing games if you like the racing game full completions. Like I mentioned at the top, I have that Forza Horizon 2 where I got the achievements I could. I've also got a Forza Horizon 5 achievement HuntWhores I did for the Rally DLC within that. So if that interests you, I've got a full playlist on the channel for all of the achievement HuntWhores stuff. Or if you want to watch other achievement HuntWhores, again, there's that playlist. So check it out, and check back next time for whatever I do. Bye-bye.